Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So does this look familiar? Well, that is because we are processing our second batch of chickens today. Now, well, first off guys, gosh, it's like November 8th or something and it's 70 degrees out here. We usually try to process them earlier, which was the whole point of the previous batch. So it's not cold when we go to process them, because you're dealing with water and spraying them off and stuff and you get wet. But actually, I mean, it's amazingly warm this weekend. But then starting like Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be down in the 40s. So it's a perfect weekend for this. The reason we're doing it, we had to do it in 2 batches. If you go back probably 2 months worth of videos ago, we basically got 32 chickens, shipped to us, Cornish Crosses. We lost half of them due to an owl. So pretty much those chickens, minus I think like 2, we gave to my sister. We do give her that for Christmas. And then we needed to buy more, so we bought some more chickens, and then that's going to be for us. We do have some chicken in the freezer from last year, and we did take 1 or 2 from that first batch as well, like I said. But anyways, I'm not going to go into a ton of like the process. If you want to see that, we did that, like I said, about 2 months ago. You can kind of see our setup here. But go back out and check out those videos if you want to see like how we do it and different things like that. What I was going to have today's video focus more on is, and probably the title of this video is going to be something like, is there a big difference between buying Cornish Cross meat birds from 2 different hatcheries? Something like that. We're going to do a little experiment. Because the first batch of chickens we got from a place called Myers Poultry, which we actually made a mistake. We were wanting to order them from Myers Hatchery, which is one everybody knows. And we got them from Myers Poultry, a different place. And that was the first batch. And we were happy with those. And we went through and we weighed them and all that stuff. You can go out there and check out that video. And then for this video, for this batch, we got these chickens from Hoover's Hatchery. So we're going to weigh these, do all that, and then at the end of this video, we'll kind of compare how the weights and everything turned out, because everything was the exact same. The chickens are 9 weeks old. The other ones were too. They were fed the same exact feed, yada yada. So anyways, that's what I'm going to kind of do on that. We have, for this second batch, we ordered 15 chickens from Hoover's, and we lost 3 like in shipping, and then the first 1 or 2 days or whatever. So that put us down to 12. And then we had like a runt one that died recently-ish. Something, it was just a runt. Something must have been wrong with it. But so we're down to 11 birds. That's all we're doing today. But anyways, with the water's heated up and we got everything ready here. So let's get going. All right guys, bird number 1 going on the scale. They usually set in here pretty good, actually. 9 pounds, 10.9 ounces. That's a pretty big one. Okay, bird number 2 is a hen. 7 pounds, 10.9 ounces. One of the things guys, that I forgot to do was we have 1 extra large restraining cone and 1 large. It was just, they came in a pack. We've had that for years. And I guess it's extra large and large or whatever, however they did it. And the smaller one is a little too small for the Cornish Crosses, so we have to kind of rotate rooster and hen. We do 2 at a time. But what I want to do is just make some 5-gallon bucket cones. But I thought I was going to do it for this butchering, but I didn't. So here you can see, guys, I'm using the Vevor chicken plucker that we've now owned for 2 or 3 years. And I just wanted to come on here and say, I'll put a link to this in the description. But man, this thing, so it's, at least at the time, and you could go out there and check it out now, but it's priced significantly lower than any of the other chicken pluckers out there. And this thing does a fantastic job for us. Like I say, we've used it 2 or 3 seasons now and haven't had any issues out of it. Bird 3, rooster. 8 pounds, 1.4 ounces. Chicken number 4 is a hen. 8 pounds, 3.9 ounces. Bird 5, rooster. 7 pounds even. Bird 6, hen. Trust me guys, we are weighing them after we butcher, before we put them in the cooler. I just haven't showed that yet. 8 pounds, 1.3 ounces. That hen is bigger than that rooster. So right here is a good representation of kind of what our system is like. So once they come out of the plucker, my wife goes ahead and removes the feet, the neck. She makes the slit up to the breastbone, and just kind of does some, getting any feathers off, that kind of thing. Then she'll do that on the second bird. Meanwhile, I'm going ahead and getting the 2 other birds in the restraining cones and getting them draining. Once I'm done with that, I come over here and I pull the insides out of the birds that she just, cleaned up. Right there, she's getting the livers. And once we're all done, we'll weigh those carcasses and put them in the cooler. All right, let's get a carcass weight on these 2. Got one real big one here and a smaller one. Zero it out. First one up. 7 pounds, 4.6 ounces. Next one. 5 pounds, 10.5 ounces. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap on butchering the chickens. Let's see here. Looks like it took a little under 2 hours. Anyways, I'll give you a shot of them here before I cover them in ice. But there's 12 of them in there. So, anyways, it's a double layer down there. But anyways, guys, what I'm gonna do is get cleaned up here, and we'll let those chickens rest for 2 or 3 days to get rid of that rigor mortis in the cooler with ice. Then we'll cut them up, vacuum seal them, and put them in the freezer. So next thing you'll see in this video, what I'm gonna do is we'll take the weights and everything, and I'll compare them to the first batch that we did. So I figured I'd break in here, and it's the same day that we butchered the chickens, and I didn't know this was the plan tonight, but my wife is cooking the livers. So we got them battered up there, and actually she's cooking the hearts too. There's the hearts. Got your livers down there. Livers and onions. Okay guys, so here is the spreadsheet that I put together. I put it together pretty fast, so if there is any errors, don't give me a hard time. But this is the one that we did on this video here. These were from Hoover's Hatchery. A lot of people don't like looking at these numbers, so I'm not going to dwell on them too much. The only thing I'll say up here, the smallest bird of all of them was a rooster. So I thought that was funny. The live weight and the dressed weight, it was the smallest. That's what the red means. Sometimes it's not always the case. You know, the smallest dressed weight might not always be the one that had the lowest live weight. And then the same was true. The biggest bird we had was 10 pounds, 1.8 ounces. It was a rooster, and it had the highest live weight and the highest dressed weight. Okay? Over here is your yield percentage. So right here, this is our average this time. We yielded 72.3% dressed weight divided by live weight. A month or two ago, we were at 72.82%. So, I mean, look at that consistency. I mean, you know, it's the same 2 people butchering them, same process and everything. Anyways, dressed weights, this time was 6.06 pounds average. The ones from Myers Hatchery were 6.38 pounds average. And then you can look at the live weights here as well. So what we found out just on this little experiment was Myers, which was the previous butchering, was an average of 0.32 pounds heavier per bird, or another way of saying it is 5.28% heavier based on the average size bird. Now over here, if you kind of want to put that into a perspective, I found out 2 local places that have natural chicken. One was $4.89 a pound, one was $6 a pound. So I took the average of those two is $5.45 a pound. So I said, what is the extra revenue per bird if each bird is 0.32 pounds heavier? So 0.32 pounds heavier per bird at $5.45 a pound, each bird is worth $1.75 more. If you're raising 50 birds, that's an extra $87.50. 500 birds, $875, and 5,000 birds, $8,750. So it does add up when you get up there. Let me open this up. All right, so one of the things in the numbers is you could say, well, but you didn't have all the same roosters and hens and all, which is true, because these are all straight run. Straight run was ordered from both of these hatcheries. So roosters out of the Myers group was weighed this many ounces. Roosters from Hoover's, this many ounces. This is interesting. Myers was bigger by 0.716 pounds per bird. On the hens, though, it flip-flopped. Hoover's had the biggest hens by almost 1/4 pound per hen. The other thing is you can see we had 9 of 15 roosters from Myers and 5 of 11 for Hoover's. I would say that's pretty daggone close to 50%. But if Myers has bigger roosters, because they're almost 3/4 pound bigger, and the probability of you getting more roosters is higher than, because you're at 60%, then you will, I mean, that's a lot of extra weight there. So if any of you guys have any interpretation of all this beyond mine, put it in the comments. But I would say in general, because we buy straight run, so when you're straight run birds, you know, with Myers it looks like, you know, your total average would be 0.32 pounds heavier per bird. Okay, I mean, if you just factor straight run is what you get. You can't control what you get. But we do know that we got 60% roosters with Myers. I would also say if you're the type of person that buys sexed Cornish crosses, man, if you bought Myers roosters only, each bird would be about 3/4 pound heavier. I feel like that's pretty impressive. Anyways, guys, that's the numbers. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.